Ta-da!
Hello gamers, Matthew here from Grey Army Gaming in Lund, Sweden. For today's video, we will be playing Day 24 of Battle for the Borderlands. The battle will be between the Savage Orcs and the Dwarf Miners. This will be the last of our semi-final games, and the winner of this will go to the final match. Let's go ahead and take a look at the warbands and take a look at the board. For our first warband, we have the Savage Orcs using the green dice today. They are led here by our leader Kratak, who is a Savage Orc. Now he is joined by 3 dogs of war. One is an Orc boy with the regimental standard. Another is a Savage Orc with the club with a nail in, which gives him the D6 special attack rule. And the last one is an error boy who has the last chance automatic wound once hit on his arrow shot. Over here now, joining the rest of us, we've got a stone troll, heavy hitter with 3 wounds. We've got another Savage Orc, another Orc boy, and another error boy. So there you go, 100 points of the Savage Orcs. For our second warband now, we have the Dwarf Miners using the red dice today. They are led here by Treligrom Flatguard, and he has the Dashing Cloak of Heroic Renown, which gives him the 5+ regeneration special rule. In addition, he's joined by 2 dogs of war. The first one has Drog's Decapitator, which is 2-handed and gives the Killing Blow special rule. And the second one has the Worn Boots of Unseemly Haste, which gives the bearer the Swift Stride special rule. In addition, they also have 6 other Dwarf Miners that join them with heavy armor and great weapons. So there you go, a total of 100 points for the Dwarf Miners. Today we will be playing on a standard 4-foot by 4-foot board, and we have the sort of plains, dirty roads mat set out here. This theme is really a village that used to surround what was a sacred tree before it was cut down by some evil forces invading the Borderlands. And now this village is largely abandoned, so we will be fighting it out right here in this village surrounding the remnants of that sacred tree. Let's go ahead now and roll off to see who begins deployment. Dwarves with the red, Savage Orcs with the green. Here we go. And it will go to the Savage Orcs. And here's the deployment for our Savage Orcs. We've got our leader here in the middle, surrounded by an Orc boy there. If we come over here, we've got our BSB battle standard, then 2 more Savage Orcs. Up here, we've got 2 guys perched up on top of the church building. So that was a good choice for the Savage Orcs to get that high ground for their archers. Deploying second now, we have the dwarves, and they have pretty much just clumped together in this little spot here, hopefully trying to get some cover from the remnants of that sacred tree, cover from those archers. And we'll see if they decide to go right or left around that thing, but it looks like they'll probably take this direction now. Let's go ahead and roll off now to see if the dwarves will indeed get to take the first turn. Dwarves deploying second, so on a 1 to 5 they decide who goes first. Yes, and they will take the first turn. Let's start out now just by marching all these guys up this direction. Hopefully they can get some nice cover behind that tree stump. And there are their final positions. And the dwarves are using that terrain well because they are now entirely hidden from the line of sight of these error boys. Alright, that's the end of Dwarf turn 1. Let's go on to Savage Orc turn 1. So this red die here represents the average charge range for the dwarves. So what we're going to do is try to funnel all our guys over to this direction. We'll keep them outside of that charge range. And of course, before we do that, let's go ahead and roll for Ancestral Grudge. We get a 4, and a 4 will be the Rancorous Resolve. All friendly character models with the Ancestral Grudge special rule have the Hatred special rule against all character models from the opposing army. So we'll go General against General. And let's of course also roll for Stupidity here for our Stone Troll. And he gets it with an 8, which is the leadership value of our leader, so he's fine. And there are the final positions with those movements. And as we mentioned before, those dwarves are all hidden from the line of sight of those error boys, so we will not be able to shoot. So that brings us now to the end of the Orc turn 1. Let's move on to Dwarf turn 2. Now this is where things get interesting. Do we dare charge? I think what we're going to do is we're going to send this whole first row in. So we'll send him into there. He has to hold. Him into there, hold. Him into there as well, hold. And we'll send this guy into there, and he will also hold. So let's roll off for these first 4 guys. Okay, we need to roll a 7, we need to roll an 8, and a 9. So let's start here with a 7. No, he fails. He's going to go ahead 5. An 8. Here we go. No, a 7. Oh my goodness, he's also going to fail ahead 5. Next guy, he's got the Swift Stride, and he got it in with a 7. So he is okay. Wait a minute. No, measuring again. He needed an 8, so he also fails with a 5. This is just a disaster. And our last guy, a 9 onto this orc boy. Double 1s. That's just indicative of it. So everybody fails. And there are their final positions. Horrible charges for the dwarves. That brings us to now remaining moves. Let's go ahead and just move a bunch of these guys and kind of bring them up. And there are their final positions, bringing up the lines, strengthening the lines. We're going to need to give some support here when we get charged in the next turn. So that brings us to the end of Dwarf turn 2. Let's move on to Savage Orc turn 2. First things first, let's roll for stupidity here. And no problem. Our stone troll is not stupid. All right, charges to declare. Let's just declare charges with all these guys. Let's send him over here. He'll hold. Let's send this guy crashing into here and avoid our leader for now, and he'll hold. Let's send him here. No, let's put him as well on here, and let's send each one of these, 1 here, 1 there. They will all hold. Starting over here with this guy, let's see how he does. Oh, double 1s. No, he's going to fail. All right, starting here on this guy, we need to roll an 8. And we get it. Boom. So he's coming in here. Next, let's go ahead and take care of these guys in the back first. And I realize that both of these can only attack charge here. So we're going to have to go here. 7 for the first one. No. 3. And for the second one, 5. No. Both of them are going to fail forward 3. And you can see them now here crouching around the side of the hill there. Last, let's go with this guy, or second last, and then we'll do our troll. This guy right here, we're going to send him into... let's send him into here. And no problem with a 10, so he'll get in there. And last, let's send our troll into this guy, and he will get it no problem, crashing in like that. Remaining moves, let's go ahead and get these guys out of their tower. They are still out of range, and it looks like the battle line is going to stop right around here. So let's go ahead and march them out of the building, and we'll get them a little closer anyway. Coming out of the building now and just stopping right here, marching so they will not be able to shoot. Let's go ahead and run up here and take some of our combats. Okay, let's start over here now. Same initiative, but they got great weapons, so they're going second. We got 2 attacks because of Frenzy. We're hitting on 4s. Nothing. Coming back now on a 3, and wounding on a 3. No. Next, let's come over here, and we're going to be hitting on a 4. No. Coming back. This guy now hitting on a 3. No. So that is a failed combat there as well. Final combat here, we've got this guy who has a higher initiative, so he will be starting hitting on a 3. There's a 4, and wounding on a 3. No. All right, the troll coming back with 3 hits, hitting on 4s. And there are 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Nothing. Uneventful combat there, so that brings us to the end of the Savage Orc turn 2. Let's flip over now to the Dwarf turn 3. Alright, charges to declare dwarves. We got to do it now. Now is our time. Let's send our leader in. He will be on the flank there. Let's go ahead and send in this guy here. We get 1 more guy who can come in here. Let's send this dwarf right here onto that flank. We'll send this guy right here. And of course, let's see if we can get him into that guy. Here we go. Yes. 7, that gives us a total 10 inches. Boom. Crash. There we go. So we have all of our dwarves now in combat. Beautiful sight here with all those dwarves piled in. Let's go ahead and start out with this combat with the troll. All right, the troll begins because they have always strike last, and let's send all 3 attacks into our leader here. We're going to be hitting on 4s. No! All right, dwarves, time to have some revenge. Let's start with our prospector. He's going to put 2 attacks back in. He's going to be hitting on 3s. There we got 2 hits, wounding on 3s because of the great weapon. And there is 1. Way too powerful for the armor save, so let's get a 4+ ward, and he gets it. All right, 3 attacks from these 3 miners, hitting on 3s. Yes, wounding on 3s. Oh, only 1. Here we go, 4-up save. Gets that as well. Let's take this one here. Starting out with our error boy, our regular orc boy. That's obviously a miss. Coming back, 3s and 3s. There's a hit and a wound. Yes, and not strong enough. So he goes down. The banner is out. And with that, we'll just turn him like so. Next, let's run over here and have our leader. He's going to attack. He gets 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. There they are, and wounding on 3s because he's super strong. 2 wounds. 5+ save here if he can get it off. No, so we're going to lose these 2 guys. Wow, that was powerful. Coming back here, 3s and 3s. 3, yes, and another 3, yeah. So he goes down to 1 wound. Go ahead and turn him like this. Combat resolution now. The Savage Orc wins by 1, so we are down to an 8. Uh-oh, 12. So we're going to take off and run. How far are we going to go? We're going to go 11 inches, and we're going to hold. Leadership of 8. Yeah, he gets it. So let's measure this guy out. 11 inches. And 11 inches will bring him right here. Let's run over and do this last combat. Orc boy hitting on a 4. Yeah. Wounding on a 5. No. Coming back. We need a 3. No. And with that, we come to the end of Dwarf turn 3. Let's go ahead and go to Savage Orc turn 3. Charges to declare. Yeah, let's go here into there. They have to hold. They are in combat. He will make it no problem. And let's send these 2 guys. Let's try and send them both into here so we can leave this guy open to be shot at. So let's go ahead and run both of those in here. First one here, no problem. Second one, no problem. And there's how that combat will look now. Shooting phase, let's go ahead and take each of these guys, shoot a shot over at that dwarf. Long range, so we're hitting on 5s, and there is 1 hit. Wounding on a 5? No. Okay, let's run up here now and do these 2 combats that we have right here. Let's start us out with this combat right here. All right, club with a nail in it. Let's see how many hits. 6. Wow, plus our frenzies. All right, here we go. Because of Chappas and Frenzy, 4s and 4s. 6 hits, and let's go 4s here. Heavy armor now because of strength. 6 pluses. Here we go. And he saves 1 but misses the other, so he goes down. Wow. What a fight that was. This guy here now has to take a leadership on a 9. No, he is, actually no, he's going to be okay. He's okay with a 9. So he's going to stick around. These guys, we will just turn them over this way, face them back into combat like so. And let's move on now to this next combat. All right, initiative order. We'll start with the leader, then we'll go on to the dwarves, and then finally the troll. So here we go. 2 attacks here, hitting on 4s. And got him. Wounding on 3s. There is 1 wound. We've got a heavy armor, got it with a 6. This guy here coming back, we need 3s and 3s. Wow, there we go, and that's not strong enough armor to save him, so he is gone. But I can't forget Warpaint. If he rolls a 6, he's still fine. Oh, look at that, he stays in. And I'm also forgetting about his cloak. Yeah, he got a 6 there, he saved it twice. All right, let's go here with the remaining 3 into the troll. 3s and 3s. There are 3 hits and 3 wounds. We got 1. 4 up ward, no. Coming back now, 3 attacks, 4s and 3s, nothing. So the dwarves here are winning combat, but both these guys immune to psychology, so that is where it will stand. That's the end of combat now, which means that brings us to the end of the Savage Orc turn. Let's go over now to Dwarf turn 4. Charges to declare, yeah, we're going to charge here, bring him into that stone troll surrounded by dwarves. Let's see here. We have some compulsory moves as well. Let's see if we can rally this guy, and we do with a 6. We'll just turn him around. And we have no remaining moves, so let's go ahead and finish up with that combat. All right, same thing here, same initiative order. These guys on the troll. Let's go 2 attacks into him. We're going to be hitting now on 4s, wounding on a 3. Got it. And we have a, do we have a save? Yeah, we got it with a 6. But actually, no, his attack is too strong, so he doesn't have enough armor to save him there, so he is going to go down. Okay, let's go miners here. Prospect has 2 attacks, so we have 5 total. 3s and 3s. All right. And 3s, here we go. Got it. Too powerful for the scaly skin here, so we got 3 4+ wards. Oh, goodness, he gets them all. Troll coming back, 4s and 3s. We got 1 and a 3 to wound. No. Combat resolution now, they lose by 1, so their 9 is dropped down to an 8. Oh no, an 11, they're gonna flee. First one here, going 5. Next one, 4. Next one, 6. And last one, 7. An absolute incredible turn of events. You see now how this combat has broken up. We've got 2 guys running there, 1 guy there, 1 guy on the other side here. They are going to pursue. Let's start out with our troll. He's going to pursue here, and he gets it, no problem. Comes crashing in. That guy is gone. Second guy, he is going to pursue as well. With a 7, he gets it. Hits him, crashes into him. And just like that, the dwarf army warband is so decimated. We've got these 2 now chasing down this guy. We've got this whole group over here. It's not looking good for the dwarves. All right, let's just continue a little bit more. Charges to declare. Let's go ahead and charge these guys. He will hold, and they will make it in. And there is how that one will look. Over here now, we'll charge here. This guy has to keep fleeing. He is already fleeing, and he will flee another 9 inches. Remaining moves, let's send these guys marching over this direction. And that's where their final positions will be here. Let's go into the shooting phase now. These 2 arrow boys do have a line of sight onto that guy, so let's take 2 shots on him. Long range, so we're hitting on 5s, and wounding on a 5. No. Okay, we know how it's going to go, but let's go ahead and take this combat right here. All right, 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, and wounding on a 3. No. Coming back on the leader, we're hitting on a 3. Yes, and wounding on a 3. No. And finally 3 attacks here from our troll, hitting on 4s. No. Wounding on a 3. No. What do you know? There might still be hope for these little dwarves. We got to go now and to take a route test because they are below their threshold, and to start off their turn 5. Route test on a leadership of 9. Here we go. No, they got an 11. They got an 11. The dwarves are running off. That was in fact an 11. The dwarves are running off of the field. Oh my goodness. So here's how it ends up at the beginning of game turn 5. These 2 dwarf warriors who were fleeing continue to flee off the battle edge. And this one lone guy here, the last guy fighting, he also takes off the battlefield. So that means that the Savage Orcs have pulled off another victory. Congratulations, Savage Orcs. You are going to the finals. And rolling now on our leadership chart for his upgrades. He gets an 8. I think it was +2. So lightning reflexes. Your leader gains either +1 movement or +1 initiative. Well, they're going up against High Elves next. So let's go ahead and give them the movement, which will bring him up to a movement characteristic of 5. With that victory now, the Savage Orcs will move on to the finals, in which they will take on the Sword Masters of Hoth. This will be a fantastic matchup, a classic duel between High Elf and Orc Goblin. That is something you will not want to miss, so stay tuned. Come back now for our last day of Battle for the Borderlands. And thank you for joining us here today at Grey Army Gaming, where Grey can always play.